A coyote is standing over a fresh kill, about to eat, and then it stops. Head up, ears forward, completely still. It has caught something on the wind, a scent, a sound, and whatever it is, it's bigger. In one motion, the coyote abandons the meal it just worked to catch and slips away into the brush. The hunter just became the hunted, and it didn't even need to see the threat. It just needed to know the threat was possible. Here's something we rarely stop to think about. The animals that terrify everything else are almost all of them afraid of something too, which leads to a strange question. If a predator is just meat, muscle, fat, protein, same as any prey, then why don't predators simply eat each other all the time? Now, we have to be honest right away, because the popular version of this is wrong. Predators do eat each other. It happens. So the real question isn't why it never happens. It's why it's so rare. Why, across the whole living world, the hunters mostly leave the other hunters alone. And the answer isn't kindness. And it isn't some truce. The answer is a single force running quietly underneath almost every predator's entire life: fear. Start with the fact that it does happen, because it matters. Lions are one of the deadliest things on the African savanna, and they don't only kill zebra and buffalo, they kill cheetahs, they kill leopards. They hunt down African wild dogs and crush them, and very often they don't even eat them afterward. In the ocean, killer whales tear into sharks. Big fish swallow smaller predatory fish without a second thought. So there's no rule of nature that says a predator is off the menu. When a bigger hunter decides a smaller hunter is worth killing, it kills it. The category predator offers no protection at all, and yet most of the time it doesn't happen. Two predators cross paths, size each other up, and walk away. Why? Because the math of attacking another predator is brutal. When a lion hunts a gazelle, the gazelle runs. That's its whole defense: speed. But when a lion goes after a leopard, the leopard has claws, fangs, and a willingness to use every one of them. Prey tries to escape. A predator fights back. And a predator that fights back can blind you, break your jaw, open a wound that gets infected, or simply kill you. For a wild animal, there are no hospitals. A single serious injury, even a small one, can end you slowly over the following weeks. So every predator is running a constant, silent calculation. Is this worth it? Is the meal in front of me worth the risk of never hunting again? Almost always, when the target is another armed hunter, the answer is no. Better to walk away hungry than to win a fight that kills you 3 days later. That calculation, repeated billions of times across billions of animals, is what keeps predators apart. Not respect, risk. And once you see it, you start noticing that fear doesn't just prevent the occasional fight, it shapes entire lives. Scientists have a name for this: the landscape of fear. The idea is that a smaller predator doesn't just avoid a bigger one in the moment, it reorganizes everything around the threat. Where it hunts, when it comes out, which paths it takes, which clearings it refuses to cross. A coyote in wolf country will shift its whole schedule to move when the wolves don't. Smaller cats hunt at hours that keep them away from bigger cats. All across an ecosystem, invisible lines are being drawn, not by walls, but by pure fear. The smaller hunters live inside a map made entirely of where the dangerous ones might be. They give up good territory, good hunting hours, easy meals, all to lower the odds of a single deadly encounter. The bigger predator doesn't have to attack anyone to control the whole neighborhood. Its reputation does the work. And here's how we know that fear is actually holding the system together. Take the top predator away. When the biggest hunter disappears from an area, the mid-sized predators explode in number. Suddenly, there's nothing to be afraid of, so they breed, they spread, they hunt freely, and they wipe out the smaller animals below them. Scientists call it mesopredator release, and it can collapse an ecosystem from the top down. The fear the big predator created wasn't cruelty. It was structure. It was the thing keeping every level in balance. Remove the terror and the whole pyramid starts to crumble. Now, it's tempting to make this sound noble. It isn't. There's no honor among predators, no gentleman's agreement, no mutual respect. A lion isn't sparing the leopard out of professional courtesy. It's doing risk arithmetic, cold and selfish. If the odds ever tilt, if the leopard is injured, cornered, or weak enough, the lion will kill it without hesitation. The peace between predators isn't peace at all. It's a standoff. Every animal holding still because moving first might cost too much. If you want to see just how powerful that fear is, look at what happened off the coast of South Africa. The great white shark is, in most people's minds, the ultimate ocean predator. The thing with no boss. And for a long time in the waters near Cape Town, that was true. Then, around 2015, two killer whales showed up. Researchers named them port and starboard after their collapsed dorsal fins. Port and starboard had learned a very specific, very surgical skill. They would grip a great white, flip it, hold it still, and open it up with almost medical precision to pull out one thing: the liver, which is enormous and rich in fat and calories. They left much of the rest. And the great whites did something no one expected. They fled, not just from the fight, from the entire region. After the orcas began hunting, tagged white sharks bolted from areas they had ruled for decades. Places like False Bay, once one of the most reliable great white sites on Earth, where hundreds of sharks had been seen, year after year went almost silent. The apex predator of the ocean packed up and abandoned its own kingdom, because two animals had taught it fear. The most feared fish in the sea, driven off an entire coastline, not by walls, by the memory of what waited there. So why don't predators eat each other? They do sometimes, but they mostly don't, because nature isn't actually ruled by strength. It's ruled by the fear of what strength costs. Every hunter you've ever been afraid of is spending its life quietly afraid of something bigger, calculating, avoiding, giving ground. The whole system, top to bottom, is held in place by that fear, which leaves one predator unaccounted for. Because there is exactly one hunter on this planet that no longer lives inside anyone's landscape of fear. One animal that reshaped the entire map so that nothing hunts it back. Us. We are the only predator that stopped being afraid. And maybe that's worth sitting with. Every other hunter is kept in check by the fear of something above it. We removed everything above us. So the real question might not be why predators fear each other. It might be what a predator becomes when it finally has nothing left to fear.